tables. Now we will talk about tables and different properties tables have, especially scope equals col and scope equals row. Data tables associate cells with their headers, so screenreaders can announce specific information which the user can follow while moving through the table. For simple table, use just th in the first row and or first column and add the scope col, all scope row, so assistive technologies know which header it applies to. So if we have the code, this is the code, this is the first part of the code which we are talking about, this table, the first table, okay? So I will use a screen reader. Accessibility.
Welcome to quarterly revenue by region. You are currently on web content. Leaving scope equal region. You are currently on a selectable text inside a column header. Q2, Q1, region, ME. Quarterly rev index unquote new v8 bookmark check lot to acts web you cut x dac row leaving saved tab groups entering scope equals colon scope equals row headers attribute for complex tables Google Chrome Daniel group scope equals colon scope equals row headers attribute for complex tables web content. You are currently on a group. To interact with items in this group, press Control, Option, Shift, down arrow. Leaving scope equals enter quarterly revenue by region, group. You are current Q2, quarterly revenue by region. Quarterly revenue by region, table.
Yeah, now we got it.
Q2, quarterly ME. Quarterly revenue by region, table. Horizontal splitter, collapsed on top. Sales by region. Ellipsis. ME. Quarterly revenue by region. Quarterly revenue by region. Table. Horizontal splitter. Region. ME. Unselected. You are currently on a selectable text. Inside a column header. Region 1 Q1. You are Q2. Quarterly revenue by region. Table. Region. ME. Ellipsis. 1. Region.
One moment.
You are currently on a column header. Inside a table. To navigate the cells within this table, press Control, Option, and then up arrow, down arrow, left arrow or right arrow. Select next scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tables. Web content. You are current scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tables. Web content. HTTP close scope equals scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tab group scope tab scope equals colon scope quarterly revenue by region. Q2. You are currently on a table inside web content. To navigate the cells within quarterly revenue by region. Quarterly revenue by region. Table. Horizontal splitter. Collapsed on top. Sales by region and quarter. Table. Group. HTTPS quarterly revenue by region. Table. Q2. Column header. Q2. Ellipsis. Quarterly revenue by region. Table. Q1. Region. HTTP quarterly revenue by select next tabs group. Quarterly Q2. Quarterly revenue by region. Q1. Quarterly revenue by region. Table. Horizontal splitter. Collapsed on top. Sales by region and quarter. Table. Group. HTTP close scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tables. Web content. You are ht tab groups scope equals ht scope equal understand scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers at quarterly revenue by region table. Horizontal splitter collapsed on top. Sales by read quarterly revenue by read quarterly revenue by region. Quarterly revenue by region table. Horizontal splitter collapsed on top. Sales by region and quarter table. Group. Quarterly revenue by region, group. Quarterly revenue by region, quarterly revenue by region, group. Region. Giant quarterly revenue by region, table. Horizontal splitter, collapsed on top. Sales by region and quarter, table. Group. You are currently on a selectable text, inside a column header. Ellipsis. Ellipsis, ellipsis, cell. Quarterly revenue by region, table. Quarterly revenue by region, table. Q2. Q2, Q1, column header. Q2. Quarterly revenue by region, table. Horizontal splitter, collapsed on top. Sales by Q2. Region. Unselected. You are cut region. Region 1 quarterly revenue by region. Table quarterly revenue by region region 1 Q2 EMEA. Selected. You are currently on a table. Inside web content. To navigate the cells within this table press Control, Option, and then up arrow, down arrow, left arrow or right arrow. HTTP scope equals colons at index HTML. Editor Chrome. Scope equals colon save select next tab. Scope equals colon scope at index HTML. Group. Region. You are current region. Ellipsis. Cell. Index HTML. Index tab search. Awesome mail tab or in scope up new tab. Scope quarterly revenue tab search. Scope quarterly revenue by region. Group tab leaving scope close. Book like to apps web you cut x row leaving saved tab groups. Entering scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tables. Google Chrome Daniel Group. Scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tables. Web content. You are currently on a group. To interact with items in this group, press Control, Option, Shift, down arrow. Scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tables. Google Chrome Daniel. Scope equals tab groups. Scope tab tool tab scope equals colon scope leavings closed tab end leaving saved tab groups. Scope equals scope equals scope tab groups tab tool tab group. Scope equals colon scope equals row. Menu. One item. Closing menu. Scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute system has new window ellipsis. Quarterly revenue. You are currently on a table. Inside web content. To navigate the cells within this table, press Control, Option, and then up arrow, down arrow, left arrow or right arrow. Region. You are currently row 2 of 2 EMEA. Row 1 of quarterly revenue by region. Table. 3 columns. 2 rows. Quarterly revenue, quarterly region. Quarterly revenue by region. Quarterly revenue by region. Quarterly revenue by quarterly revenue. Scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tables. Web content. Region. Scope leaving close. You cut it row. Leaving saved tab. Leaving scope. Entering scope equals scope tab groups. Scope equals colon scope tab groups. Menu tool finder. Desk row. Quarterly revenue by region. Table. Scope tab group. Scope equals Q2. Row 1 quarterly revenue by region. Table. 3 column. Quarterly revenue by region. Group. Scope equals colon scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex quarterly revenue by region. Group. You are currently sales by region and scope equals column, scope equals row. Headers attribute for complex tables. Web content. You are quarterly region. You are currently on a table. Inside web content. To navigate the cells within this table, press Control, Option, and then up arrow, down arrow, left arrow or right arrow. Region. Q. Region. Region. Column 1 of 3. You are currently on a selectable text. Inside a column header.
So once you are on the table, the screen reader the assistive technology screen reader will tip you how to navigate in the table. So you need to use at least on the Mac a control option. On Windows or on Linux, it will tell you how to do it as well, which combination. So for example, here I click control option and navigate left, right arrow or top down.
Q1, row 2 of 2 EMEA. EME. You are Q1. Ellipsis. Column 2 of 3. You are Q2. Ellipsis. Column 3 of 3. You are currently on a selectable text. Inside a cell.
So you can see it tells you everything.
Row 1 of 2. Q2. You are currently on a selectable text. Inside a column header. Q. Region. Region. Column 1 of 3. You are currently on a selectable text. Inside a column header. Voiceover off.
Yes. But if you have noticed, we also have another table here. And this is a more complex table, as you can see. What's happening here? For complex table where we have merged cells or multiple header rows, like here we have multiple header rows. Scope alone will be not enough. So then we need to play with ID. Here we can say region, ID H1, H2, and here we have the headers. Where we are assigning to H1 to H1, H2 to H2, and so on and so on. What more? You can also use like headers like that. I mean, they are here, so we associate the headers with the ID, like we have here. And here you have R EMEA, and you have Q1, Q2, Q3. But here they are associated with those two IDs. And here we have Q1, Q1, Q2, Q2. So you can map it different ways. For example, this one on our example is associated with those. But those can be also associated with this. And with headers, mix of headers and ID, we can achieve this. Because here we are associating with ID here. And the TH we are associating with the ID here. So it's not like if there is like here. It's not like if there's ID, it cannot be header. No, it can be, or here. It can be header and ID, and you can cross-associate it. Yeah, so here each data cell has its ID. Yes, a data cell here. Plus ID of the column header. So here, yeah, and then you can see how it works. Try to avoid tables for multi-column page layouts, which are breaking the order of reading for assistive technologies and confusing table semantics. For layout, use CSS, Flexbook, or Grid. And we can see also with screenreader if you want. Op.
Welcome to VoiceOver. Sales by region and quarter. Group. Leaving scope sales by quarter. You are currently HTTP scope quarter sales by region HTTPS sales by region and quarter group. Scope equals scope equals column scope equals row scope equal sales by region and region spans 2 row H1 row to Q2 column 2 of 5. You are currently on a selectable text inside a column header.
And you navigate the same way.
H2 and Q1 column 3 of 5. You are currently on a selectable text inside a column header.
So
Q2 column 4 of 5. You are currently on a H1 and Q1 ellipsis column 2 of 5. You are currently on a select Q2 ellipsis H2 and Q2 ellipsis column 5 voiceover off.
So you can see how it works for more complex tables. Okay. Historically, summary on tables is already outdated, so don't use summary in HTML5. Use caption. It's so here we can have some tags before table, then table, which are associated the ID with the area described by, and then we have some caption, which is visible title of the table. It should describe what the table is about, and it should not repeat what every column name, but it should announce it is announced with the table in many assistive technologies. And it will satisfy the 1.3.1 info on relationships as well using the caption. Yeah, so I can show you. Yeah, so this is the caption for the table. Maybe if we do style border. Yeah, so now you can see that this is the caption for the table itself, and then we could have a table footer. We can use again screen voiceover, screenreader.
Welcome. Percentages are year over year. Totals include tax, regional sales. Description. Percentages are year over year. Totals include tax, empty, table, group. You are currently on web content. To enter the web area, press percentages are year over year. Totals include tax. Percentages are year over year. Totals include tax, regional sales. Description. Percentages are year over year. Totals include tax, empty, table, group. So you can see that even though I am on the table, it still reads the paragraph along with the caption, of course, because they are the paragraph associated with the area described by. That's why it's being read, and the caption also there, of course. Voiceover off. And then I have one more example which I do not have on my slides. I go here. I just want to show you. It's a bit complicated and it's very big, so I didn't want to show you on the slides. But if you go here to the link, you can rewrite it, or simply copy paste this link, which is much shorter. This is example of a responsive tables, because sometimes the table can be very big and or you are on the mobile device. For example, here I'll be on a mobile device. One moment, I think this is not. Oh no, this is not. It's not. I will need to add a couple of meta tags, but okay. So
this can happen that you have only this amount of screen, maybe like this. Or for example, if you have this amount of screen, then you need to compress it, okay? How do you do it? You wrap this in a scrollable region with a visible label and keyboard access. So there is keyboard access for this. You see, tab from code perspective, it is about where is the code? From code perspective, it has the it has the tab index 0. So it is so you can have a keyboard access, and you do it on the wrapper, but only if you document it and make sure there is some kind of focus styling. You use this for the keyboard access one. Second, to make the table responsive, you need to add like a horizontal scroll, so user with small screen can still see the table and basically operate on the table. You can see this is the table, and we have a class called table scroll. It's CSS, and then we are adding the overflow. If you can see here, then I need to overflow of the screen, because for example my screen would end here, and then it would overflow of the screen, so it's of course not good. But if you add overflow X auto, it will be like this. Okay, so keep in mind, this is very good, very important. And in the next class we'll be talking about lists and in general form labels, relationships, and reading order.